Hi Sean, so the last couple of years you've been the co-manager of the INFOMAR program, is that right? So you're one of the leaders of this mapping program.
Yeah, correct. I took over from Archie Donovan about a year and a half ago when he retired. Prior to that, I was the operations manager for the inshore fleet. But now, as the sort of the head of the marine section in the Geological Survey, I've taken on the responsibility of managing the INFOMAR program with Tommy Fury at the Marine Institute.
And has it been a big challenge for you to move from actually driving the boats to becoming the head manager of the program?
It sure is. Yeah, it would be nice to be out on the boats. It's kind of my background is being at sea, so this is a whole new departure for me that I don't get out of the office that much. But it's a lot more challenging from a point of view of the economies of the project, dealing with the stakeholders, and especially looking at the policy and what we need to do nationally in policy as well as from a European perspective.
And as you've seen the program evolving through the years, like in your perception, what are the key differences between the way the program has been run the first few years, like in 2005-06, to the way it is run now in 2018?
Yeah, the fundamental difference was that in the beginning there was a committee set up to decide what the priorities were for survey, and they looked at 26 priority bays and some strips along the coast. And so for the first 10 years that's what we concentrated on. Now we sort of charged with mapping the rest of Ireland, and the good thing about that operationally is that it means that we can do the logistics and stay in one area for a longer time, which brings its own efficiencies, really.
But in terms of survey fleet, in terms of the staffing, the skills of the staff, is there a big difference between what you had in 2006 to what you have now in 2018?
Definitely in terms of the equipment, everything has been upgraded and kept current with modern technology. And we've expanded the fleet. We started out with the first boat was the RV Carey, and now we have the Carey, the Geo, the Lear, and the Mallet. So that's fourfold increase in capacity.
Do they all work in different areas or focusing on one particular area?
Well, the nice thing now is that we have choices. So with two big boats and two small boats, you can have one big boat working on its own, maybe ahead of the fleet, and then one big boat being the sort of base of operations for the one big boat and two small boats.
And now, as the manager of the program, do you get the chance to go out offshore, or you're just doing the office work?
I get the chance to go out because I can pick and choose some of the nice trips. So as soon as the seminar is finished today, I'm going to be taking the Mallet around to Dublin and helping the lads fit the MVP next week. But they are few and far between. Most of my time now is spent in the office.
And from your point of view, can you explain to us why there are two management centres, GSI and Marine Institute? Where does that need to come from?
Well, originally the INSS was done by a private company, and the Marine Institute was brought on board with the advent of the Celtic Explorer. So they were able to continue the work that had been done previously by the private sector. And INFOMAR then became a good reason for utilizing the state assets. And then it had always been funded through the GSI's parent department, which is the Department of Communications, Climate and Environment. And so the reality is they were partners from the beginning because we needed their assets. And now we have some of our own assets which are complementary to the program.
Okay. So, but on a day-to-day basis, what are the key differences in terms of management? Like, what is your role? What is the role of Marine Institute?
Yeah, they are very complementary roles, and the Marine Institute look after their vessels and the crewing of their vessels in the deep water, whereas in the shallow water, the GSI is managing that fleet. And then we cooperate really on different projects within the European sphere, and the Marine Institute team would have a more focus on the marine biology side and fisheries, whereas in the Geological Survey, obviously we concentrate more on the geology, which can incorporate aggregates and sand extraction and general geology.
And from your point of view, Sean, what are the practical applications of the data that you're collecting?
The data initially was envisaged as a baseline data set, and it was soon apparent that that was very important in updating nautical charts for safety of navigation. But fisheries habitats and quantifying the offshore resources have become important, and in more recent terms the offshore engineering through offshore renewable energy and laying of cables, etc. The data there has been totally invaluable.
And what are the main aims for the following year, for 2019, of the INFOMAR program?
Yeah, I mean, the plan is to continue surveying around the coast sort of progressively. We started on the east coast, we're 2/3 of the way through the south coast, so we should be going around the southwest corner of Ireland over the next 2 years, and then working up towards Donegal to finish in 2026.
Thanks very much, Sean.
Thanks, Max.